Hi, I'm Rachel Lovell with Rachel Lovell Astrology, and today I'm going to be talking about Saturn through the 12 houses. Saturn takes about 29.5 years to orbit the Sun. That's about 2.5 years in each house. Saturn is associated with Kronos, and in ancient astrology, Saturn is associated with both Aquarius and Capricorn. Saturn represents restriction, obstacles, limitations, oppositions. In the zodiac, Saturn is across from Leo and Cancer, represented by the Sun and the Moon, and are the luminaries. Saturn is discipline, depression, decay, death. I think I said obstacles and blockages, big time blockages. And he is the Lord of Karma. Saturn is also the timekeeper, and that's what Kronos was, the god of time. He is our greatest teacher. Saturn, I would like to invite you to look at Saturn as a teacher, as opposed to what he gets a bad rap for. His transits tend to be quite difficult, especially on the angles and the 8th house. But the transits, they do tend to be hard, but I really want to invite you to look at Saturn as one of the greatest teachers that we have, one of the biggest soul's evolution that you're going to experience. Saturn builds brand new foundations. Saturn leaves many gifts at the end of his transit, at least from my experience and from what I've seen. Wherever Saturn's transiting, whether it be in friendships, money, joint finance, or higher education, whichever house he's going in, if there are blocks or if there are holes in these situations, in these themes of your life, Saturn comes in and he forces a spotlight on it, and he forces you to restructure these areas of your life. So if he goes into the house of friendships and you have friendships that are no longer serving you, you're probably going to see the end to those friendships, and get new friendships that are healthy for you and that help you. Same with relationships, same thing. If he goes into the house of finance or joint finance and this area needs mad restructuring, by the end of that transit, you're going to be in a completely new place where it comes to finances and joint finance. So I really, when I look at Saturn, I look at him like not just the teacher, not the favorite teacher, like not the grade 2 teacher that you go in, he's just like rainbows and butterflies and you just love being in his class. It's not that teacher. No. He is the college professor that you go in. It's very serious. It's a very serious tone. And there's no goofing around in the class. But when you finish that class, when you leave, you have a brand new understanding that is bulletproof, solid foundation on whatever it is that you are learning from him. So, I'm going to go through all of the houses, and this is my first series. I was really drawn to do Saturn. I'm very drawn to Saturn. The biggest changes in my life have come through my Saturn transits. They have been, they've restructured me as a person, and he is the Lord of Karma, and paying back karma is it's not easy, but there's freedom in that. There is so much freedom in paying off karma and paying our dues and building solid foundations in all areas of our life. So I find Saturn, or I think of Saturn as a blessing. I'm sure he's not done with me. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the 12 houses. If you don't know what house Saturn is, you're going to go by your rising sign. and you can find that on astro-seek.com. You can go ahead and find your rising sign, and if you drop a comment below, I can let you know which house Saturn is transiting in your chart. Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to do Saturn transits the 5th house. I have not picked up this series in a full year. I've been doing school, I've been busy, but you know what? I love Saturn and I really want to finish the series, so today's the day. Saturn transit the 5th house. The 5th house is the joy of Venus. This is a place of good fortune. This is the house where the things that you love sit, like that feeling you get from the sunset, romance, creativity. If you're an artist, it's the painting, the actual painting of the painting, photography for those that like stuff like that. It's the arts, it's love affairs, it's it's Paris streets and walks on the beach, and it's all the things that we love, right? So children also rest in this area. Good fortune and good luck, and all of our hobbies sit here. It's those things that just bring joy to our lives. So and then things also like gambling and partying, which can get out of hand too. So there's the hedonism part. But when Saturn transit this, I jokingly call it the no fun house, because it is our fun house and Saturn's kind of no fun. But don't take it too seriously, because Saturn is always trying to build more solid foundations for us. So in the end, it's all great. So what can happen when Saturn's transiting your 5th house? You can attract more serious love. You can no longer want to be having affairs, flings, one night stands, if that's something you're into. You can be kind of blocked from romance like that, or you can draw in somebody really serious and start, romance is somewhat, you won't feel the joy from that anymore. You maybe have a more serious approach to sex and intimacy. You could get very serious about your hobbies and very critical of yourself. Like you could get, it can kind of take the joy out. Like you're a photographer and you're now really critical about your photography or painting, or, for me, one of my hobbies is the gym, and I ended up buying a gym when Saturn was in my 5th, and I took my gym to becoming a job, and it really sucked that joy out of it. After I sold the gym, and now the joy is back. But during that time, it was like, it took the joy out of it. Oh, we got Kitty here, look, this is Libby. All right, so, you can, children. You can basically, children can they can start causing problems. They can, you can get more serious to do with the structure of your child. Your child could all of a sudden say go to high school and there's so much more homework and you're having to really structure your days differently. They could be in all sorts of sports and you're always having to drive them places, or your child could be getting in trouble and you could be becoming far more disciplinary. You could be going from the lackadaisical mom to the more disciplinary, really putting in structure in their lives, really seeing the cracks within your parenting, or the cracks within the structure of with the child, and I'm really working on that. With that, you can become a better parent. You can, if you're trying to get pregnant, there can be blocks around getting pregnant. It can become a little harder to get pregnant. I have Saturn in my 5th house, and I never had a problem with getting pregnant. I also have Jupiter there, so other transits definitely do, affect it as well. So don't just look at it for the one aspect. But yeah, Saturn, oh boy, she's bit me. Did you see that? She's like, this is 5th house right here. This little baby. She's totally my 5th house. Okay, so you could also have an unwanted pregnancy, right? That could happen, like, because Saturn's causing blockages, right? So it could be a pregnancy that was, maybe not something that you expected. Could be a pregnancy older and while you're, more mature in life. So solid is that, if you do have problems with gambling, addiction, anything like that, you could find yourself gaining control over them. So going to treatment, finding ways to structure control around any sort of hedonistic, where you've taken fun and joy to the next level, right? So that's wonderful. In the end of this transit, you will find that, you know, you're going to have a very clear idea of love and intimacy and romance and what you want with within that area. You could have, you know, you will have a better structure to do with your children, to do with you as a parent and your parenting, and a solid idea of, yeah, those romantic areas, and anywhere that you've been letting too much joy get into your life. I mean, can there really be too much joy? But yes, there can if you're drinking and, you know, partying far too much. Sorry, there's little hairs now floating. This video is turning out so funny because the cat has not done that in any of the other videos, and it's just like she's so sweet. It's so fifth house for me, right? Yeah. So I absolutely love Saturn. I absolutely love the fifth house. And when Saturn leaves this house, you'll definitely find a weight lifted off your shoulder to do with all these areas of creativity, joy, fun. You're also going to find a nice solid foundation, and hopefully have things in anything that had cracks in it. You filled those cracks, and you are, you know, you really have a solid foundation in these areas of life. So thank you very much.